I'm going to share my experience with the Royal Enfield Himalayan, which has been nothing but positive. I've used it in India for about 2 to 3 months. Actually, 3 months would be more accurate. I rode all the way around Ladakh, all the way from Delhi to Sikkim, and in Uttarakhand as well. And I had no problems at all. I've ridden the bike probably between 15 and 20,000 kilometers in total. I have had no issues at all. One of the friends that I made up in Ladakh, Tundup, you've probably seen him in previous videos, he's actually so confident in the Himalayan that he bought 3 last year when I was with him, and now he's even bought some more, and he's going to go pick them up next month. So he's that satisfied. He runs a motorcycle rental company in Ladakh, where they have some of the most harshest roads, and he's had no problems with his Royal Enfield Himalayans at all. They've done well over 15,000 kilometers and no problems. We all know the Royal Enfield Himalayan's got a great design, a great concept. The bike has got a high ground clearance, low riding seat height. It's a 411cc engine. We know the specs. Doesn't consume that much petrol. It's got a fuel indicator, gear shift indicator, and also it tells you when the side stand is down. So it's got all the electronics in there that anyone could ask for. The thing is, a lot of people expect the Royal Enfield Himalayan to perform like a frigging BMW 1200 GS. The reality is that the bike's worth 1.5 lakhs, 3,000 Australian dollars. And you're not gonna get performance that you would expect from a Triumph Tiger. That's not a Triumph Tiger, by the way, for $3,000. You're just not. And what it does deliver for $3,000 is amazing. The value for money, it well exceeds the price. The value that you get from the motorcycle well exceeds the price. The suspension is just amazing on that motorcycle. It compares to this Kawasaki KLR 650, which is one of the most reliable and most popular and bought motorcycles in the adventure riding world. So I've ridden this bike, I've ridden the Royal Enfield Himalayan, and I've ridden a few other bikes as well that are of the adventure nature. And I've got to say, the Royal Enfield Himalayan, the suspension, the riding comfort, and just the fact that you can just glide over all the bumps, it's on par with this motorcycle. For $3,000, this one costs $8,000. 4 lakh rupees on this thing, and it does not even have a fuel indicator. Just to show you how basic it is, it doesn't have a fuel indicator or anything like that. So Royal Enfield Himalayan has done a great job there. The thing I've noticed, no one's had issues with the design of it. Everyone's pleased with how it works, the aesthetics and all that stuff. But the thing is, there's been 1, 2, maybe 3 people who have had issues that would have taken them to the mechanic unexpectedly. But the thing is, you can't blame a whole model for a few occurrences. I've had no issues with this bike. I should just make a title on the video saying Royal Enfield, the best motorcycle in India by all Royal Enfields. You know, maybe I should just do that. And no, I'm not paid by Royal Enfield to say anything in this video. I'm not paid by Royal Enfield at all. The Royal Enfield Himalayan is the first Indian-made dual-purpose adventure bike. And I have no idea why it took so long for that to come out, because in India you definitely need a dual-purpose adventure bike, like this thing back here, Kawasaki KLR 650. Now I used to ride that thing over there in the background, which is a Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R. It's a super sport motorcycle, and I actually gave up riding that for this because there's more fun to be had. There's more fun to be had going off the road, discovering new places and going to all these awesome landscapes and, you know, camping out. Personally, I would never buy the Dominar 400 or any of those other Indian-made motorcycles, because the fact is that if you really want to have fun in India, you got to have a dual sport adventure bike. In one ride you can easily go from like Delhi to Sikkim through all these like bumpy mountainous roads and off the road, off the track. Nothing stops you on one of these bikes. You are unstoppable, and that's why I'm so behind and I'm so passionate about the Royal Enfield Himalayan, because it is the first Indian-made dual-purpose adventure bike, and that's why it'll have my full support. I will not judge it based on a few people saying negative things about it. My personal experience, almost 20,000 kilometers riding that thing, no issues at all. I did not even break down once. The only thing that happened once was the bolt that holds a gear shifter fell out, and that was my fault because I didn't check that all the bolts were screwed on properly before I went on a long ride. So that's my fault, nothing to blame the bike for. And you know, if I was one of these typical YouTubers, I would have titled the video, "Oh, don't buy any Royal Enfield because the bolt that holds the gear shifter fell out because of me. But don't buy any Royal Enfield though, because that's all their fault, not my fault. That's their fault." So a little message to all the little hate spreading YouTubers that want to diss a whole motorcycle brand just because of a few bad experiences. Just know this: the Royal Enfield Himalayan is in its early stages. Just like any other product that has ever come to the market, like DJI Phantom drones for example, the first one was terrible. Like, you had to mount a freaking GoPro on it, and it didn't have its own camera, and when you like rotated like this, so did the view. It didn't have a stabilizer, it didn't have an accelerometer or anything like that. And then what's happened after that? As new versions are released, now it's the best selling drone in the market, because it is the best drone in the market, the DJI Phantom. So just know that, and know that also the Kawasaki KLR 650 also had humble beginnings, and without the support of its customers, it's not going to go anywhere. And because it had the support of its customers, it's still here today. That's the 2016 model, and they're making 2017 models as well. The Royal Enfield Himalayan is only going to get better from what I imagined, because it just came out last year, and even then I think it's still a great bike. And if I had to buy a motorcycle in India, value for money, hands down, I would buy the Royal Enfield Himalayan. And guys, another reason I'm so passionate about the Royal Enfield Himalayan is because that motorcycle, I had dreamt of riding it since 2015 when I saw the ad on YouTube, and that dream was fulfilled in 2016, mid 2016, and it took me to all the places that I wanted. It took me to the world's highest road, Pangong Lake, Saul Mariri. It took me from Srinagar to Leh. It took me to Uttarakhand. It took me from Delhi to Sikkim, through Nepal, and no breakdowns whatsoever. That motorcycle truly fulfilled my desires in achieving what I wanted to in India, and took me to all the places that I wanted to see, hassle-free, and above all, with great suspension, great comfort. I would not do those trips on your standard Royal Enfield Bullet or any of those other bikes. You need a dual-purpose bike to do trips like that. My expectations were that it would take me to all of those places that I just mentioned. And the reality was, it did take me to all of those places and more. I was going off the road in like random directions and just doing silly stuff, just doing crazy off-roading and trying to climb mountains on a motorcycle up in the freaking Himalayan mountains. Like, come on. You obviously know what motorcycle you want. You're not going to climb mountains on a Dominar D400. You're not going to climb mountains on a Mahindra Mojo. And you're not going to climb mountains on a Royal Enfield Bullet. And that's why I jumped on the Royal Enfield Himalayan, because I wanted to climb mountains.
And climb mountains I did. Well, tried to anyway. The way I like to rate how good a motorcycle is by the enjoyment I receive from riding it. The Royal Enfield Himalayan may not be the most powerful, the fastest, or the most solid machine ever built, but it is the motorcycle that I enjoyed the most, and that's why I'm giving it my 2017 Motorcycle of the Year award, but I'm pretty poor, so I don't have anything to give you, Royal Enfield, I'm sorry. But I just want to let you guys know, thank you so much for an awesome motorcycle, and I don't need to be sponsored or given anything to say this. I was never given any money to say this, and it is just a pure appreciation from the heart. Thank you for trying to make a great motorcycle. You have succeeded, and hopefully you will continue to improve the motorcycle so that you can make all these haters shut their stupid mouths.